just watched a repeat of Greta with the representative-elect Carlos Cabello of Florida. And in light of what he was saying, it reminded me of what I've written already at blogs many a time, and that is we need to secure our borders, but before we do that, we need to secure our country. All these idiots that say secure our borders, we don't know who's here. Is it 11 million, or is it, like I suggested on another tape, probably 15 to 20 million who are here that should not be here? We also need to find out what is the resolution of whether or not if you're born illegally, if you're born of illegal aliens in the United States, are you a citizen? There is no certainty. Yes, some people have gotten citizenship as a result of being children of illegal aliens, but I would like, as part of a bill suggested to be fair to the undocumented, as Carlos said. Well, future representative, I beg to differ. They're not undocumented. They are illegal aliens by federal law. You cannot politically correct federal law. You have to actually amend it. But instead, we politically changed it to be correct. Well, I'm sorry, they're illegal aliens, and they are a problem. We can't tell who's good, who's bad, who's what, who's where. So first thing we got to do is secure our homeland. I hate that term, secure America. We're not a homeland, we're America, United States of America. So we secure it. How do we do it? We give them, well, first we put the U.S. Post Office to work and give them a decent bonus for everyone that they register as required by law. They do the registration, they collect the papers, and they ship it to perhaps a post office agency. And if the Congress wants that to happen, to give the post office some extra income, we could do it that way. Makes sense. We have a post office that needs to find a way to make good money, quick money, and big money. Because, yeah, each alien, illegal alien, has to register, just like the regular aliens that have actual allowance to be here. So they have to register. The post office will take care of it, but they have to register, and if they don't register in a certain time period, which can be worked out, I would say a month, because they're a very intact community that will be able to pass the word, even though they don't speak English, that they got to go to the post office. They know all about our post office and register, and they basically register at the immigration area of the post offices. And if it's a small post office that doesn't have it, they do an interim form that gets the process started, giving the basic information necessary to move them on where they have to go to a big post office. They get their picture taken, and not just one picture, a front view and a profile. They are criminals. We do not change that. They need, unlike the black community in Ferguson and in all of the USA, where nobody's a criminal if he's black. Michael Brown was a felon once he hit the officer. Once he hit the officer, he was a felon, as sure as could be. He would be convicted, and he was also evidently a felon robbing the store, but nobody says it. No black Democrat will say that he did anything wrong. A lot of them say that the store owner never complained. It wasn't a robbery because the store owner was so threatened by the blacks that he'd be burned down that he never dared say a word against Michael Brown after the robbery. That's sick. Dorian Johnson was the ringleader, I think. I think he thought it up. He led Michael to the store. He led Michael after they got out of the store. He led Michael down the center street. He was in front of Michael. Dorian Johnson is responsible for Michael's death, both morally and legally. It's called felony murder, as I see it. He's indictable for it. He may not get convicted, but he's indictable unless he tells one heck of a great story as to why he's not. Now back to the law. We have them register as though they're sex offenders. But they're not. They're wonderful people. I like illegal aliens. I wish them all well. I lived with an illegal alien for a period of time because my landlord was a good, dear friend of mine, and he had rented a room to them because the guy worked with the son-in-law. He ultimately left the country repeatedly and came back legally with work permits, I think, because the lumberyard owner found a way to find him to be a needed worker. But they loved the man. His name was Martin. He was Aztec. I don't have a problem with Hispanics. You might think I do. I have a problem with illegal aliens. So let's make them legal illegal aliens. Yeah, we give them a different card than the ones that currently show, but it will eventually be recognized as a valid work permit for people who either are good workers or, like a lot of Americans, lousy ones. But in most cases, they work hard and they sweat, they toil, they bleed for their job because they got families, they got extended families. We got to teach them not to drunk drive, but that's the same thing's true with all the drunk drivers America turns out every year and all. So let's get them integrated for the moment, but no, not into citizenship. There will not be a path to citizenship unless they go into the back of the line. And the back of the line is outside the country. So if they want citizenship, they go back and they'll be at the back of the line as that line exists at the time they go back to their home country. They may decide they don't want to because our system is fair enough for illegal aliens. They'll have work permits. As long as they do perfect, don't get into any major misdemeanors, and certainly DUI is that you're gone, you're out. There's summary. There will be all kinds of summary provisions in this. It's so easy to write this bill. You do it. You don't do it for the illegal aliens. You do it for the prestige of America. Yes, we had these people come in because George H.W. Bush was too busy with Kuwait. Clinton let him in real well. Bush too. Yeah, I don't think but he had a couple of things he was busy with, but I don't think he would have stopped him. But Obama has made a fraud of the immigration system. We've got to stop it. So we get them with papers with a ID card that has their photo on it, and maybe even has the thumbprint on it, if we want to go that far. We certainly have their fingerprints. I had to do my fingerprints to serve in the military. These people are illegal aliens. They need to give us their fingerprints. No two ways around it. Maybe even if we want to go whole hog, we can save it for later, maybe even a DNA sample, so that when they do go wrong, we'll be able to match them up. We may not process them until we think they're the person, and then we can check their DNA sample. These people have very little constitutional rights until we give them some, and let's, by God, give them some once they register. And then they've, of course, got to keep us informed. And David Cameron wants some people out after 6 months of non-work. We may want that too. They certainly don't get benefits. They have to look to the charitable system. We do not give them, in fact, they are not allowed to accept benefits from the U.S. government. If they do that, that's an automatic deportation, and we need to inform them that in their native language when they sign in of every little rule that they have to obey. And it's just so easy to do it. And what do we get at that point? Anybody that's in America should either speak English, have a regular driver's license, or their birth certificate, or one of these cards, and we'll be able to identify people, not by any national database, but by their paperwork, by their cards, by my driver's license. I do have a birth certificate somewhere or another, but my driver's license does it every time and all. So we do that, then we have everybody here, and then nobody in the future gets this illegal alien thing. We make that very clear, Mr. President. Cut the crap where you invite people over by your double-talking words when you know that they're going to interpret it that they should come. You are the problem. You better be the solution, or you're going to be more disgraced than you already are in history. ISIS, you don't nibble at someone who's killing us. You do not nibble. You destroy them like you said you were going to do, and then you just nibbled. We are losing people. It is bad. But I could write a law on this. Anybody want me to, just ask. I might do it. I've already written EOTA, Executive Order Test Act. Nobody wants to see it. Somebody get going. Do it.